Hi guys, this is IGCSE O-Level Chemistry, paper 22, June 2020, question 11. The electrolysis of aqueous copper to sulfate using inert electrodes is shown. Which statement about a reaction at an electrode is correct? Copper ions gain electrons at the negative electrode. Yes, negative electrode is where the reduction is taking place. So it will gain electrons. So since the electrolyte is copper sulfate, Cu2 positive ions will gain electrons at the negative electrode. This is correct. Copper ions gain electrons at the positive electrode. Positive electrode is where oxidation is taking place. So positive electrode does not have a gain of electron taking place. It will lose electrons. So gain gain of electrons make this statement incorrect. Hydrogen ions gain electrons at the negative electrode. No, it's not hydrogen, it's copper ions. And the last one, hydrogen ions, no, it's copper. Gain electrons at the positive electrode. It's not positive, it is negative. So option A is the correct option for this question. Question 12. Methane burns in excess oxygen. The equation is shown. CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. Bond energies are shown. What is the energy change for this reaction? So the bonds broken are 4 CH bonds. And we have 2 oxygen double bonds. So this would result in 4 into 410 plus 2 into 496. This is the energy required to break the bonds. Now the bonds formed. The bonds formed would give off energy. So the rest of the energies would be negative. So this would lead to, now the bonds that are broken are 2 carbon oxygen double bonds. So that would be 2 into 805. And we would have 4 OH bonds forming. Yeah, 2 C double bond O bonds forming and 4 O single bond H bonds forming. So this would be 4 into 460. So we have 4 into 410, which is here. This is plus, so this is okay. This is adding the other option. So this is just 410. So we don't have this multiplied by 2. So multiplied by 2 is missing, multiplied by 2 is missing, and here we don't have 410. So incorrect, incorrect, incorrect. All the rest are incorrect. But let's check option A. So we would have 4 into 410 plus 2 into 496. Yes, that is there. Minus 2 into 805. Yes, plus 4 into 460. Yes. So this makes option A the correct option for this question. Question 13. Which statement about hydrogen fuel cells are correct? Water is formed as the only waste product. Yes, they are very much environmentally friendly. Water being only the waste product and hydrogen oxygen gases being the fuel. Both water and carbon dioxide are formed as waste products. No, we just discussed that only water is produced. So next, the overall reaction is hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas producing 2 moles of water. Yes, this is the exact reaction that takes place overall in the fuel cell. And overall reaction is endothermic. If it was endothermic, why would it be used as a fuel cell? It is supposed to provide energy. So it has to be exothermic, not endothermic. So this is also incorrect. So since only statements 1 and 3 are correct, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 14. Which list contains only chemical changes? Melting is a physical change. Evaporating is a physical change. Dissolving is a physical change. So none. B. Rusting. Rusting is a chemical change. Freezing is a physical change. Subliming is a physical change. So only one. Neutralization is a chemical change. Polymerization is a chemical change. Combustion is a chemical change. So all three are chemical changes. And the last one, boiling. Boiling is a physical change. Condensing is a physical change. Distillation is a physical change. So none. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 15. The result of adding excess marble chips, calcium carbonate to hydrochloric acid at 50 degrees Celsius and at 30 degrees Celsius are shown. Only the temperature is changed. Okay, so the volume of CO2 produced is the same, but it takes longer for it to be produced at 30 degrees Celsius than at 50 degrees Celsius, but the total volume produced would be the same nonetheless. Which row describes the reacting particles at 30 compared to those at 50? So the collision rate would be at 30 would be lower. So this eliminates options A and B. And the collision rate at 50 between the particles, because there would be a gain in kinetic energy, would be higher. So this eliminates option collision energy, not rate. This is not collision rate. This is collision energy. So the energy at 30 compared to 50 would be lower because temperature is directly proportional to the kinetic energy possessed by the molecules. The greater the temperature, the greater the energy possessed by the molecules, so the greater the collision energy. Since we have a lower temperature being compared to a higher temperature, the collision energy would not be higher, it would be lower. So this eliminates option C, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 16. Methane reacts with steam and an equilibrium is reached. The forward reaction is endothermic. Okay. Which row shows how the amount of hydrogen at equilibrium changes when the pressure or temperature is changed as indicated? Okay. Change in temperature, if it is decreased and there is no change in pressure, so a decrease in temperature will favor the exothermic side, so that would favor the backward reaction. And since the backward reaction is favored, the amount of hydrogen should decrease and not increase. So A is incorrect. B, if change in temperature is an increase in temperature will favor the endothermic side, forward reaction, and there is no change in pressure, then the amount of hydrogen should increase. And since decrease is stated, that makes this incorrect as well. If change in temperature, there is no change in temperature, and if the change in pressure is more, so if the change in pressure is more, this would favor the side with the lesser number of moles. So reactant side has 2 moles, product side has 4 moles. So an increase in pressure will favor the backward reaction, which would result in a decrease in the amount of hydrogen. So this is stated correctly. And the last one, if there is no change in temperature, but the pressure decreases, this would favor the forward reaction, increasing the amount of hydrogen. Decreases is stated, so it makes this option incorrect. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 17. When aqueous iron 3 chloride is added to aqueous potassium iodide, a chemical reaction occurs and iodine is formed. Okay. Which statement is correct? Iodide ions are oxidized. They gain electrons in this reaction. Iodide ions converting to iodine is oxidation. Yes. But gain of electrons is incorrect. They will lose electrons. Iodide ions are oxidized. Yes. They lose electrons in this reaction. Yes. Yes, they do lose electrons. That is what we just discussed when discussing option A. So this is correct. Next, iron 3 chloride is oxidized. Iron 3 cannot be oxidized further, so it undergoes reduction because it is already stated that iodine is formed. So iodide ions are oxidized to iodine. And neither iodide nor iron 3 chloride is oxidized in this reaction. Then the reaction will not occur. So this is incorrect as well. Therefore, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 18. The graph shows how the pH of a solution changes as an acid is added to an alkali. So when an acid is added to an alkali, the pH would decrease until all of the alkali is neutralized, and then if additional acid is added, then the pH would go into the acidic region. So which letter represents the area of the graph where both acid and salt are present? So acid should be in excess and all the alkali should be neutralized. So that would be part A is where alkali is present in most quantity. Part B will also have alkali present. Part C is above 7 pH, so that will also have alkali present, alkali salt, and acid will not be there because alkali would be in excess. And D is where all of the alkali has been neutralized and only acid is in excess, because of which the pH is below 7 and the alkali has been converted into salt. So option D is the correct option for this question. Question 19. Which statement describes a weak acid? A weak acid is partially dissociated in aqueous solution, and an acid is also a proton donor, meaning it donates H positive ions. So let's see what they have listed for us. It is a proton acceptor. No, it is a proton donor. And is fully ionized in aqueous solution. No, it is partially ionized. It is a proton acceptor. No, it is partially ionized in aqueous solution. Yes. It is a proton donor. Yes. It is fully ionized. No, partially ionized. It is a proton donor. Yes. It is partially ionized in aqueous solution. Yes. So this makes option D the correct option for this question. Question 20. The apparatus shown is used to prepare aqueous copper to sulfate. So we have solution Y, we have solid X added, we have a stirrer, we heat it, then we filter it, excess of solid X is removed, and aqueous copper to sulfate is produced. So what we need is an insoluble salt reacting with a solution that would produce copper sulfate. So this should be sulfuric acid. So an insoluble salt of copper. So it cannot be copper metal. Copper to chloride is soluble. It cannot be copper to chloride. Copper to oxide is insoluble. This is correct. And sulfur, there is no presence of copper in X, so sulfur cannot be it. So we only have one option. So the solution Y should be dilute sulfuric acid, which we have already figured out. So this makes option C the correct option for this question.